And Wally, we're asking you to play 2 tonight. Are you?
I'm ready. Let's
we're
go.
a little concerned with
some extra minutes.
He was mad
After that Nick fourth quarter.
He was mad the other night as he had so much to say on the 150, and he's in the green room. We come out after the show, and he's just like coming at me with all his takes. I'm like, yo, the camera's off.
I'm ready to go now. Let's go.
All right,
and we know you're in shape, which it's important. You got to be out. Play here. You got to be in shape.
Play in shape.
All right. 2 games, 3 games into this season. You know who the hottest player in this whole league is? Karl-Anthony Towns.
What about Trae Young?
Trae Young, too. But Karl-Anthony Towns has got 37 points. Listen, the other night, he got 73 points, 72 points in his last 2 games and 18 rebounds. The other night, he's got 73 points and 29 boards in the first 2 games of the season. We don't really talk about Karl-Anthony Towns.
Well, number 1 pick from that draft class. Devin Booker's in that draft class. Porzingis, obviously, as well.
New Jersey.
Local kid, obviously. And I thought it was interesting going into this season. You see how the West is. The West, once again, stacked. And you've got a lot of these younger teams with younger stars like him and Booker who are looking up thinking, are we ever going to have a chance to win? Because, you know, well, you probably remember, no, it wasn't fair. You stepped onto a winning situation, so you can't relate to this. But young players, like the first couple of years, you're on a bad team, you're just finding your way. Then you're like, all right, I want to start winning. Reality's there, but Karl-Anthony Towns is saying people don't think we can win, and they're going to be wrong. We're going to prove them wrong. And he's been doing that so far with his play. He's trying to be a leader there.
How about I helped, the team win? How about that?
I love when you guys are on the show together.
Come on,
well, I'm just saying, you walked in and just started winning.
Just walked in,
but you didn't have to go through what a lot of these young guys have to go through, which is being the lone wolf on a losing team for a couple of years and then having to find your way. You got onto a team that had
fun.
Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that.
Timberwolves, lone wolf. So Karl-Anthony Towns has been phenomenal. He really has. This guy is so understated. When I was back there in Minnesota last year at the end of the season, I went back to the game. I kind of saw the ins and outs of how that franchise is functioning, and they love what they have in him because not only does he do what he does on the floor with his scoring, with his rebounding, but off the floor, he's a leader. He's a little soft-spoken, but he does everything the right way. He's very he doesn't demand a lot. He's very respectful of his teammates, of everyone around that organization and franchise. They got a really good egg in Karl-Anthony Towns, and he's going to bring that Timberwolves franchise to pretty good heights in years to come. But they just need to put a few more pieces around him. Yeah. Wiggins is good, a little inconsistent, but if you can kind of lock down a few more big-time players, they got a bright future.
He signed a big-time, long-term extension last September. It's not like he's going to be a free agent. Not going to be a free agent anytime soon.
Yep. I mean, that gives you stability, though. Yeah. I mean, you look at what he's done through the first 2 games to be a guy that's had 35 and 10. He joins the company of Wilt Chamberlain, Karl Malone, Elgin Baylor, Moses Malone, right? So for him to be stable and to know that this is a place where I can build, I mean, you're right. You throw in those pieces. We talk so often about teams that already have an established core, the Clippers. Like that.
You got a cold? Did I give you my cold?
No, that was a joke. Pete, why you do that? Never mind.
Clipper cold. Clipper cold.
But no, seriously, if they can establish a core.
You'll get us all sick very soon.
Bronchial issue. Excuse me. But here's the question there, though, is like when does he or one of these younger players get to that reality of will we have, like you said, he needs some more pieces around him to be a legit contender especially in the West. You get to that. He might have signed that contract. It doesn't mean that long term you start to get.
But let's talk about the West, right? Let's talk about the West. If we say right now our favorites are the Clippers, the Lakers, right? The Lakers
and Houston,
right?
We'll talk about that later. Don't leave it all on the table here.
Okay, I'm not gonna give it all away, but you look at teams' age, right? Like if Minnesota is the youngest group and you're building around Karl-Anthony Towns, is there a world where they're contenders sooner rather than later?
Well, here's an interesting point. D'Angelo Russell, Booker, and Karl have all talked about teaming up.
It's ridiculous,
one day.
okay? They win something.
Super teams.
I mean,
where will they team up?
They're not established enough to say they
But that's how you win something.
Yeah.
That's how you compete. You got to go recruit each other.
Kawhi did it with Paul George.
You got to recruit.
Facts.
Kawhi Leonard's a champion.
So, but these guys want to be the next
LeBron
wave,
James
potentially.
recruits. He's a champion. These guys haven't done enough to say.
That's how you compete with the champions.
You got to.
Is Bill going get off my lawn right now? Are you doing that?
I don't like the AAUification of the NBA.
Well,
It's
baby,
here.
I say get with it or get lost.
They do, but if you're an established player,
the National Business Association.
That's right. That's right.
The players run the show. That's what it's all about.
Now,
so if you want to compete with the best, you got to team up with
have
some
a little
of the
something
best.
on the resume.
What do you think they're saying under them towels, Peter?
On the resume.
What do you think they're saying under those towels? Come play with me, dog.
Karl-Anthony Towns has been an all-star.
Not a champion.
No, but I mean, that's how you get to be a champion. You become
These
an
other
all-star,
guys, though, my point is, and I'm belaboring the point to make my point, is that you need to have the championship, in my estimation, first before you start saying I'm going X, Y, and Z.
It's not true.
Whatever.
In order to get the championship, you have to go X, Y, Z.
Okay.
3 against 1, Pito.
Special moment in the locker room for Minnesota after the game last night. Flip Saunders, who Wally played for, passed away 4 years ago to the night last night. So after the game, Karl-Anthony Towns gave the game ball to Flip's son, Ryan Saunders, currently Minnesota's head coach.
4 years ago, your father joined the Angels up in heaven. We really, as a team, when we came in the huddle out there, especially out on the court, we said we wanted to get this W for you and your family. So we made sure to grab the game ball for you and your family.
My dad would say right now, though, he'd be proud of where this team is going. He'd say that we got to look forward with this team. Look forward. We don't need to look in the past. Because this team can do something special because of you guys as individuals. And then you guys collectively.
Hey, come together. Come on. Let's go, Rook. Let's go, Rook. Flip on 3. 1, 2, 3. Flip.
You know more than any of us for sure what that must have been like for Saunders' son and the whole history there.
Gives me chills. I remember Flip's son running around the gym when I was playing. He was 12 years old. You know, he was a little kid that could really shoot, really loved the game, wanted to follow in his father's footsteps, and obviously he's made a great career for himself. And for him to be named head coach, I know they were wondering whether or not he was the guy, and they named him. They showed faith in him. I know Karl-Anthony Towns was 100% behind that decision. You can see how excited that team is, that young team is, to be playing for a really young, blossoming young coach in Ryan Saunders. He's doing a great job.
Another hot topic tonight, the World Series. So Houston's Aces don't win, right? Nats go up 2-0 against Houston's Aces. They win Game 3, and they're cruising right now in Game 4. Nats got to be I think they're in deep trouble now.
Well, that's all you had to do. Is if you're the Astros, all you have to do.
So sorry. Monica, don't start crying over here.
DMV.
You can't. I mean,
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, what do you say about your team here? This isn't very good here.
Go, Han. I'm listening.
Well, the point. This was the pivotal game.
Absolutely.
It's a Houston bullpen
Because
game.
now, well, no, but yeah, it's first of all you're doing the opener, right? You're going bullpens in this one. Which where are we in baseball now? This is what we do. We're doing
Game
it in
4 of the
playoffs
World
now.
Series.
But on top of it, how pivotal this
game.
is because now the Astros get home field back.
And their
After giving
aces
it
are
up.
ready to go.
And their aces are ready to go. Like this series definitely turns on this game.
8-1 in the 7th right
It's that's what's just incredible about what has transpired in these two games that they've come on the road and be able to do what they've done.
Now, on the flip side of that, this was a team that was abysmal record-wise in May. So if there's any silver lining for the Nats, technically they're not supposed to be here. So house money, sort of, kind of.
Oh,
how could you say
house money?
Because we're talking about where time out. We're talking about where we are right now. If they lose this game,
Monica.
I got you, but I'm saying literally the odds were ridiculous going into the World Series. The whole thing.
Let me ask you this:
what? It's winning or misery.
But I'm saying right now we would say that this is the turning point. If they drop this game, then everything seems to be proper in the predictions.
When Buzz Aldrin threw out the first pitch, he was an astronaut. Right?
That's why.
What are you doing bringing this guy out?
That's why the people that analyze the game don't mean anything. It's the players that make it happen. Anything can happen in baseball.
Okay.
Even though they got the aces going, they beat the aces once, beat the aces again.
Yeah,
I'm still putting my faith in my Nats.
Breaking, by the way, Grand Slam put the Astros up 8-1. Now, when you look at who's pitching in this World Series and what's happening with the Yankees, Brian Cashman had to say, hey, he was asked, you had a chance at Verlander.
Yep.
You had a chance at Cole.
Had Cole. You drafted him.
You had, Corbin. They had now he pitched tonight for the Nationals, and he said, hey, we gave it a shot. And it didn't work out. Where there's a certain interpretation that they didn't give it a shot.
Well, I think that was the challenge, is that the Yankees have been, charged with the fact that you didn't go out and get another ace that you needed, and you lost the series. They actually out-hit the Astros in the series in the ALCS. The numbers tell you they out-hit them. It just was the timely hitting that wasn't there. But what I thought was interesting, what Brian Cashman said, when do we ever remember the Yankees being on a budget? And he admitted that the Verlander trade wasn't going to go down because it would have put them over the luxury tax.
Now are so out of bounds compared to how they were before. I mean, you have to pay these guys $30 million a year.
This is a new Yankee way that we just still can't embrace. That what his explanation was,
money,
outbid for Corbin, or didn't want to really meet his standard. And Verlander, they wouldn't make the trade because they didn't want to be over the luxury tax number in that year. And it's amazing that Cole was somebody that they drafted. and then twice tried to trade for and did not give up enough to get him. And now you've lost to those two pitchers and the other ones in the World Series for the Nationals based on the fact that the Yankees operate on a budget?
I think the questions of Cashman are fair.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying, but it's hard to understand that when all these years we've known them to be the blank check team.
I know you can't do it anymore with the way salary caps and luxury taxes set up. The leagues want parity. All the owners want an opportunity to compete. It's a little bit different in baseball than basketball. In basketball, pretty much everyone's on a level playing field. Same with football, pretty much. But hey, the Yankees were right there. They had their opportunities. You talked about timely hitting. They put a lot of their, focus into their bats. And, the bats just didn't do it at the right time. And, you got to deal with that.
And the bullpen got tired.
Yes.